EnglishTim here. I'm doing one of my first videos on the Solar Kingdom now. So I've been playing Luna for a long time, and I've decided to start on the Solar Kingdom. It is a different game and there are some different rules, so I'm going to try and cover everything I can that applies to the Solar and the newer kingdoms as at 2021. So in these first few weeks when you start out, you'll find that you get attacked a lot. You might say, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, why am I being attacked? Unfortunately, at the start of virtually every kingdom I've been in, there are huge numbers of attacks. People are learning the rules of the game. They don't realise that actually in the long run it'll be kingdom versus kingdom rather than kingdom amongst itself. However, you need to get through that first stage. Don't worry, it doesn't last forever. Most kingdoms find peace and you won't have to worry about constantly protecting your troops in the long run, but at the start it's worth knowing what to do. So first up, why are you being attacked? Most likely is you've got resources available. So these resources at the top here. So if you check, you've got these resources available here, and these are the ones that might be taken. You also may have troops available. So that's shown here by your parade ground. If you've got any troops that are currently capable of being attacked, they will appear here. So if this is empty, then you don't have any troops to kill. Third reason they might attack you is they just want to fight and set you on fire. So if you don't have resources and you don't have troops, they might still want to set your city on fire. However, doesn't matter. End of the day, they can't do anything bar set you on fire, and they might eventually force you to move. If you're burning for too long and you don't put out the fires and they keep attacking for long enough, your city will be force teleported. So they might want you to move just to get you out of their alliance territory, for example. So that's the third reason they might attack you. So what can you do to protect yourself? Well, you do get a free shield when you start out. Until somewhere around stronghold level 7 or 8, it will stay up for a couple of days. It will disappear, and thereafter you're going to have to come up with a plan. You can either use shields yourself. They cost around 1,000 gold per day. So if you go to the alliance and if you go to the store, you've got an 8-hour shield here, which can be bought with the merit from doing tasks for your alliance. However, that's quite expensive. They are quite regularly on 90% off, so it's worth looking to see if those are available. However, you're going to need a huge number of those to cover every minute of the day, and in that case you really need to go to the store itself. So if you go to items and store, you can then go to the war section and you can buy a 24-hour shield for 1,000 gold, and you can keep buying them. However, as a free 2 player, you're never going to be able to afford 1,000 gold per day whilst you're starting off the game. It's very unlikely. So there are better and much cheaper ways of protecting yourself. So first one is join a powerful alliance. If your alliance is, you can check at the top here. If you go to the leaderboards and alliance power, you can see where your alliance is in the rank table. A more powerful alliance will more likely have set up non-aggression pacts with lots of other alliances, and diplomacy will protect you amazingly well in this game. As long as you've got good diplomatic ties, then odds on you're going to be fine. If you can't make it into one of these top alliances, you're going to have to learn other plans. Now, the first one is make sure you've got no resources free. The most common reason you're going to get hit is because you've got lots of resources available and people want them to grow. So to protect your resources, you do have your storehouse, that's over here, and you can check how much safe storage capacity you've got. So the amount of food, amount of wood, iron and silver is shown here. Now you can expand your storehouse limits, but the easiest thing you can do is just to spend your resources. Keep spending them for that first few weeks, don't have anything open. And the other key tip here is the resources in your inventory. These are all perfectly safe. Do not open them. I know some players will just open the lot so they know what they've got. Second you open them, they're open to attack and you could lose the lot. So keep them here, open them when you need them. Don't open them early. Now if you've got no resources, that'll often help. And the second thing you can do is just get your troops out of your city. So there are a few different ways of getting your troops out of your city. In the very early days, when you've got, as soon as you've got a fortress tower, you can send your troops to garrison. So once you've garrisoned the troops there, as long as there's no other alliances touching your territory at all, then any of your fortress towers are safe to send your troops. They cannot be attacked. They can be attacked if another alliance is touching your alliance, so when these lines cross, or very close to crossing, you'll be able to see that you're able to attack one of their towers. It will come up differently. So if you try and attack theirs, you can see that vice versa, they couldn't attack ours and we can't attack theirs. So send your troops to a fortress. You will have noticed here when I try to send it here and I'm also building at the same time, you can't do both at the same time. So if you want your building points, then you might want to send your whole army to build here, and then one important point to note is once the building's completed, they won't stay in the fortress, they will come home again. So if there's only 3 hours left on the build like I've got, if you send your troops there, they'll be back in 3 hours time more than likely, and if you're trying to go to sleep, they'll all arrive back in your city and be vulnerable to attack. So if you are going to bed for a long period, I would suggest, unless you know the build's going to go on for at least the time that you're going to be in there, you don't do that. So if you can't send all your troops to one of these garrisonable buildings, then you do have the ability to reinforce your allies. So you can send your troops to anyone who's got a shield running. Worth checking with them first to see how long that shield's going to be on for. You don't want to send your troops over there and find out that 20 minutes later that the shield's dropped and you're now sat in their city, and they may well have sent their troops out safely and you're stuck with, you're holding the ball basically. You could be defending their city for them. So make sure you know there'll be some players in most of the bigger alliances who shield pretty much permanently during the early phases, and that's important for them to help them grow, but it helps you as well. So use those alliance shields to protect your troops. Now if your alliance has reached level 4, you can build an alliance mine, and that alliance mine, so far as I found on Luna, I haven't tested this on Solar, we can't build a mine yet. You cannot be attacked in your alliance mines. So send your troops there for as long as possible. You'll be able to see how long they'll be there, and that will protect your troops in that way. So that is the first couple of weeks in the game, perhaps the first month or two, depending on how aggressive your alliance is in attacking and how big an alliance you get to. You'll find in the smaller alliances you'll still be under attack for a long time potentially, so really try and grow, try and get big enough and apply to one of those bigger alliances. Try and find the ones that have got non-aggression pacts with the other ones, and that will help protect you. And if you're one of the bigger players who's doing all the attacking, then you should be absolutely fine these first few weeks, but still be cautious. There might be bigger fish out there, so watch out if you are going to be targeted by one of the uber spenders, if you are not yourself one of those uber spenders. So I am EnglishTim. If you're enjoying my videos, please do click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell to receive updates about my future videos. Otherwise, I look forward to you joining me on my next video.
King of Avalon, play now.